Hello there, and welcome in again to another edition of Musings from the Mountains. I am managing editor Keenan Cummings.
And I'm staff writer Patrick Kotnik.
We both are employed by WVSports.com, and it's everybody's old traditional, used to be important throwback holiday.
Throwback.
The February signing period. Used to be the one time a year where everybody would kind of gather around their phones, their computers, their newspapers, if you want to go back then, and message boards, no matter what it is, and find out who was going to be in the class. Obviously, the introduction of the early signing period in December in 2018 changed that a little bit. West Virginia has 18 signees already in the books, so not as much razzle-dazzle. There's 4 spots they can fill. That number could get higher if they want to look at alternative methods, but that's another story for another day. In terms of what's on the board for West Virginia, well, they got one guy committed that should sign, Avarius Sparrow, running back from Orlando, Florida. By now, you probably know the story. Played linebacker, switched over to running back. Has played only for 2 years, but rushed for 2,100 yards, 26 touchdowns this past year. He became the focus for West Virginia at that position. Damian Webb kind of looked like he was landing to Florida State. West Virginia zeroed in on him. It actually offered him in mid-December and got him on campus. I think it was the 17th of January. By the 24th, he was a Mountaineer. He should sign his letter of intent. Right now, still iffy for Jacob Gamble, who is the other player right now committed in the class that hasn't signed. Didn't sign in December. He had to finish up some academic work, he told me. To my knowledge, he has not taken an official visit yet, which is telling in a number of ways. That doesn't mean he won't sign, but expectations are usually when you put one and one together, usually makes 2. Kind of would be a surprise to see him sign tomorrow, although that does not rule him out from signing on down the road if he does get things in order.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at this signing day, I mean, talk about Jacob Gamble. Keenan mentioned a couple names there, but I mean, not as much activity just overall. I mean, we talked about. I mean, this is almost like kind of like the throwback, signing day after that early signing period. But I think one thing that we should know more tomorrow, after the Wednesday signing day, is I would think just more direction. We will know like what the direction that the West Virginia coaching staff will take depending on who they get. Still got a couple guys that are on the table, a couple guys that may sign, but we'll know better, the direction that they'll take, whether that's going, maybe getting some more transfers, maybe some late guys. We'll know more tomorrow based off what they get.
There are some guys out there, though, and we'll talk about a few of those. Kind of the, prize for West Virginia is Eddie Watkins, a linebacker / pass rushing type, about 6'4", pretty much what West Virginia wants out of that bandit position. Could even potentially grow into a defensive end. He took official visit to West Virginia December 6th, wanted to wait, did not want to sign in December, and he's picked up some offers since then. Added Arizona, added Missouri, took official visits to both those schools. That's his final 3: Arizona, Missouri, West Virginia. He's visited all 3. He is expected to make his decision Wednesday at his school at 2:30 p.m. Eastern, 1:30 Central. That's one West Virginia would like to land. They need to get another pass rushing guy in his class. You'd feel pretty good if you came out of signing day tomorrow with just him. But, there's some other guys out there. So some names, James Thomas, linebacker from Camilla, Georgia. I'm not sure if he'll sign tomorrow. He said that he could possibly announce. If he does, that could be West Virginia. He took an unofficial visit in January, same weekend as Sparrow. It's important, that designation, because that leaves open some options that he's taken an unofficial visit. So there were some issues there with getting everything in together academically. So might not see him sign if he picks West Virginia, but another name to keep an eye on down the road. Kind of like to Corey Turner last year. Ended up enrolling at West Virginia in June, but never signed his letter of intent. He's now a part of the team, scholarship football player. So a situation to keep an eye on. West Virginia's had some other guys visit. Jordan Ingram visited, but we'll see what happens there. But overall, barring a massive surprise, which honestly I have to give the staff credit, they've been very, very good at somewhat surprising sometimes. Maybe not in some situations, but some others would take a lot of people, especially in the recruiting industry, by surprise. Look at what happened with Sam Brown. Of course, Chad Simmons had kind of guided us by the hand there, but for a lot of people, that was a shock that West Virginia was able to pull him away from Florida. So I don't want to rule out a surprise, but I do think the days of just how much this is covered has limited a lot of that. We'll see, though. It's signing day. It might not be the glitz and glam of the old signing day, but it's still fun. It gets people excited, and anytime you can add more people to the class, it's a good thing for us.
Well, I mean, most of the focus now is centered on the 2021 class. We mentioned, before that. That's one change that's come with the early signing days. Now, before. When this was the old Wednesday signing day, this was a big focus in adding those late pieces. Now, I mean, the entire focus, we've seen West Virginia already host numerous junior days where they're already recruiting the 2021 class and beyond. So, I mean, right now, yeah, they're still focused on adding some late guys. As I mentioned before, I think you'll get a sense of the direction they'll go in, whether that's adding some late guys, late transfers. But much of the focus is centered on the 2021 class.
Yeah, 5 junior days for West Virginia already. 70-plus guys that have been offered have visited. Think about that. 5 junior days before the traditional signing period. Last year, that number was 6. Now, some of that obviously is because they had to spend a lot of time recruiting 2019. Junior days came later, but still, it's a major difference and speaks to that. West Virginia was working from behind a lot for most of last year and still has put together a strong class. West Virginia currently ranked 28th in the Rivals rankings. If they're able to add a few guys tomorrow, that has a chance to go up. You got to feel good about that if you're West Virginia. To be able to put together a top 30 class with the limited time in the grand scheme of things they had, that speaks volumes to maybe the potential and why they're so excited about future classes.
We'll get some key needs too. I mean, look at running back. I mean, that was kind of an up and down battle there, where they had the commitment of Lamy Constant and offered Very Sparrow. What was that? Within the past month or two. At a late piece, but I mean they've been able to address the position needs. Look at quarterback Garrett Green. They got him. He was their second commitment in the class. Guy really got hands to his coaching staff, recruiting, knowing what they need, but then also going out and getting what those positions of need.
Yeah, we'll find out a lot more, as Patrick mentioned earlier. Once the dust settles, we'll have an idea. Would not be surprised in the slightest to see a transfer offensive lineman at some point. There's a lot of creative ways you can go. You can take from the 2021 class if need be. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I do want to encourage you, if you enjoy this show, to check out the site right now. We have a great promo going. Absolutely
Tremendous.
50% off. And you want to know why that's great? Not only do you get a full year's worth of coverage, everything we do for 50% off, it's going to take you all the way through next signing day. That's a year, guys. You get a whole year. So you'll get this signing day all the way to next signing day to see, if we do our jobs well, which I think we do.
You can see football season, baseball, basketball. You can see our faces more.
Yeah, you'll love it. Yeah. It's hard to lose there. But if this is your first time watching this, hit subscribe. We'll have a reactionary video tomorrow when the dust does settle a little bit, see who does sign, who doesn't. But should be kind of low-key, maybe a surprise or two. We'll see.
Never know.
But this has been another edition from Musings in the Mountains.